So for this video, I'm going to show you two tests you can use on infinite series. The first one is the divergence test, and this is very handy to know because if you run this and it works, then you can just stop and it's super easy to run. So here's how it works. If the limit of your nth term, if the limit of a sub n as n goes to infinity does not equal 0, so you're writing out your terms and they are not tending towards 0, then the sum of that series diverges, because you're always adding on numbers that keep getting bigger, or at least don't tend towards 0. So if the terms themselves don't go to 0, then the whole series is going to diverge. So you should always check that first, because as soon as you know the series diverges, you get to stop. Okay, so let's go ahead and show here. I have two examples. We're going to use the divergence test to show that the series diverges. So we're going to take the limit just of that nth term. So we're taking the limit as n goes to infinity of just this general term. So n over 6n minus 1. What does that term tend to as n gets really, really big? So we're looking at the powers of your n's, so they're the same. So, the ratio is what our limit goes to, the ratio of those coefficients. So the nth term tends to 1/6 for big N values. That's not 0. So since this is not 0, the series diverges. All right, how about this next one? I don't have an nth term here, so what do we need to do? Exactly, we need to write out that nth term. Let's figure out what it's going to be. Okay, so again, so here's our n equals 1, n equals 2, n equals 3. So let's write it in its summation notation. So for n equals 1 to infinity, what does that look like? It looks like n minus 1 over n. Oh, and then I have that alternating part, so negative 1 to the n, will that work? So when it's, oh nope, how about n plus 1? So that when n is an even number, I get a negative sign here. So if n is 2, that'll make this a 3. Negative 1 cubed is negative. So, okay. So that'll work. So my nth term is right here. So we're going to take the limit now just of this nth term. So that negative 1 to the n plus 1. And then I have n minus 1 over n. And we're looking as n goes to infinity. Make sure that looks like an m. All right. Get rid of my little mistake there. Okay. Well, this negative 1 is just going to pop back and forth, so I don't really care about that. I'm just looking at this n minus 1 over n. Again, the same thing, The ratio of the powers are both 1, so they're the same. So the limit as n gets big is just that ratio of the coefficients, which are also 1s, 1n over 1n. So this is going to 1 over 1, so the limit of the nth term is 1. Also, not 0, therefore, the whole series diverges. Okay, so, and if you go back to the geometric series, if you think about that, that constant ratio, being greater than 1, it's this idea here, The nth term would not go to 0, it would keep getting bigger. So the integral test, so this one's a little bit trickier, So what we're going to do is we're going to let a sub n, we're going to look at a corresponding function, So we're going to look at a function that matches what that nth term is. So there are some caveats here. It only works sometimes. So f has to be, your function has to be positive, decreasing, and continuous. I've got a little fine print that I'll get to, a little asterisk. So decreasing, so monotonic, always doing the same thing, and we're going to require it to be positive. So fine print, where can I put that? Fine print right here. At least for some m greater than let's say x. Okay. So at some point, right, it doesn't have to be, right, from the get-go, but at some point you're going to get to a place where f behaves, okay, behaves in this right manner, positive, decreasing, continuous. Okay. Now, if the integral of f of x from 1 to infinity, so this improper integral converges, then the series converges. Now, be careful, it doesn't necessarily converge to what this integral equals, right? But it will converge. And then likewise, if the integral of f of x from 1 to infinity diverges, then the series diverges. And you can kind of see this with some graphs. So remember how we first started talking about integrals, right? We use some Riemann sums, and we can use the right endpoints or the left endpoints. So this version over here on the left, right, using our right endpoints, it shows that, right, if you think about what the area is of these, the rectangles that we have here, we have our height, right, f of x, but these are also, right, our a sub n's that we're adding. And the rectangles, right, so the area of the rectangles is going to be less than right, the area under the curve, because I have, right, we're underestimating using those right endpoints. The second example, right, if your rectangles are bigger, right, they don't, right, I'm overestimating, and so my rectangles is going to be greater than the area under the curve. And so if the area under the curve does not converge, and I'm adding up things that are always bigger than that, then, right, the sum of the series would also, right, not converge, it would diverge. So let's do a couple examples with the integral test, and we'll do a quick little divergence test as we go, just to make sure it's worth, right, doing the integral test. Get my cord out of the way there. So nth term, does it go to 0 as n gets big? So a little divergence test here on the slide. So we're going to take the limit, 1 over n goes to infinity, sorry. Right, so I get 1 over infinity, yep, that's 0. So my nth term goes to 0. But does this, right, series converge? So I should make a big point about that. Just because, right, an nth term does go to 0 does not mean that the series will converge. So it's a necessary condition, but it's not a sufficient condition. So you have to check it again. Right? So just because the nth term goes to 0 does not mean necessarily that the series converges. So 1 over n. So we'll go ahead and try the integral test. So we're going to integrate from 1 to infinity, 1 over x dx. So we're going to look at the corresponding function. So, right, that antiderivative is natural log of x. I don't need my absolute values because everybody's positive. And we're going from 1 to, right, so it's the infinity, so we're going to do our b and then take the limit. So what are we going to get? So now I have the natural log of b minus the natural log of 1. Natural log of 1 is 0. So now we're going to take the limit as b goes to infinity of the natural log of b. Well, it doesn't get there all that fast, but it does, right, go to infinity. So that means it diverges. My, right, limit, right, the limit of the 1 over x dx from 1 to infinity, right, is infinity, so this diverges. And if the integral diverges, then the series diverges. This summation of 1 over n, this is called the harmonic series. It's very common. This is called a harmonic series. It's a special one. What about our next one here? So now I'm going to add from 1 to infinity of 5 over n squared. So a little divergence test. Nth term, right, n gets big, 5 over big goes to 0. So, right, We have to keep looking. All the divergence test does is let you quit. If it diverges, you get to quit. If it doesn't, you keep going. We're keeping going. So we're going to try our integral test. So 5 over n squared, 1 to infinity. Get my letters right here, dx. 5, x to the negative 2 dx. 1 to infinity. 5, x to the negative 1 over negative 1. 1 to b, right? So now we're going to go ahead and do our b and our limit. So now I have negative 5, I'll put it down below again, over b minus negative 5 over 1. So now I have negative 5 over b plus 5. All right, are you with me? So now let's do the limit. So now we're going to take the limit as b goes to infinity of negative 5 over b plus 5. Too many letters. Okay, so as b gets big, this first term does go to 0 because I've got a b only in the denominator. So this integral converges to 5. So that means that my series also converges. I don't know what to, I just know that it does converge. It converges because the corresponding integral converges. Okay, so let's do one last one because we wanted to practice some actual, hard integrating. Remember all of our integration techniques. So nth term goes to 0, right? N squared goes much faster than natural log n. So now we're going to check the natural log x over x squared dx from 1 to infinity. So my inclination is parts. So we need a u and a dv. So remember to pick u, something you know the derivative of, and we know the derivative of natural log x. So that means dv is going to be the rest of it. So that'll be x to the negative 2 dx. And then find the other part, so du would be 1 over x dx, and v, so now we integrate, v will be negative 1 over x. All right, add 1, divide by the new. Okay, so integrating by parts, we're going to get u times v, so negative natural log x over x, and then minus the integral of v, negative 1 over x, du, 1 over x dx. Okay, do a little tidying here. So negative natural log x over x plus integral x to the negative 2 dx. I'm not writing my limits on there, but I see them. Okay, here we go. One last step and then we'll plug them in. So now we have natural log of x over x minus 1 over x from 1 to b. Now I have negative natural log b over b minus 1 over b minus, plugging in the 1, negative natural log 1 over 1 minus 1. That's a lot of negative signs. Let's tidy that up. Oh, natural log of 1 is 0. 0 over 1 is 0, so that's okay. We'll get rid of that guy. So now we're at negative natural log b over b minus 1 over b minus the negative plus 1. Now let's take our limit as b goes to infinity. So this 1 over b, that's just going to go away. That goes to 0. 1 is a constant. It stays. And now this guy here, so I have negative natural log b over b. So this term right here, I'm just going to kind of take that out. So looking at the limit as b gets big of negative natural log b over b, I'm getting infinity over infinity, right? So what happens? What do we call this special form? Right? This is our indeterminate form. Works with limits, which we're doing indeterminate form. So that means we can L'Hopital, right? So we'll take the derivative of the top, the derivative of the bottom, and then take those limits. So the limit of negative natural log is negative 1 over b. Limit of b is 1. So now we're going to take the limit of that. So we'll take the limit as b goes to infinity of negative 1 over b, that goes to 0. Okay, so come back around. So this is our little side work. Up here, this term here, the limit goes to 0. So this whole business up here, right, my limit or my improper integral converges to 1. And if the integral converges, then the series converges. It probably does not converge to 1, but it will converge.